नमस्कार दोस्तों, आप सभी का स्वागत है। यू आर वॉचिंग डे नंबर 4 of the eISL powered by Coca-Cola. A huge shout out to our esports partners Nodwin Gaming and also our platform partners PlayStation for of course making this event happen. And Azim, हम आ चुके हैं हमारे चौथे दिन के तरफ and we've got some interesting matches up for our alley. And how are you excited?
Very excited. Also very excited क्योंकि आज, as we can see on screen, we are twinning today.
Oh,
Same
surprisingly,
color
yeah.
combination. Yeah.
We did not call each other before.
Yeah, we did
this.
not plan this. We are in different cities. But I am having a good afternoon here. Just played a few games of Ultimate Team myself and just got the ultimate pleasure. Just before we came live over here, मेरे opponent ने rage quit किया. So always the best feeling.
You know, that has to be definitely one of the best feelings you have playing FIFA lately. But lately कुछ cards unlock किए. I'll definitely ask you about that. But we've got to talk about the entire saga that's in front of us, right? A 4-month long league that we have, and जहाँ पे we've got 11 clubs participating, everyone having 2 players signed each inside their roster जो कि खेलने वाले हैं. And today is also going to be no less, right? Again, 4 teams आज खेलने वाली एक दूसरे के against. Of course, we've got those the 3 matches per series game. फिलहाल एक बारी नजर डाल देते हैं फॉर्मेट की तरफ, and Azim will explain you how long and how exciting it is.
Yes, of course, as we all know by now, if you've been following our broadcast, it is a 4-month-long tournament and 11 teams, 2 players per team, 110 matches. Each match is split into 3 games, 2 1v1 and 1 co-op game, of course, and the aggregate winner of the number of matches wins the overall tie. Finals 9 to 21st March, very excited for that. 4 teams will make it and there'll be a double elimination, and then the final plot twist on 21st March. The winning team, both members will go head to head from friends to frenemies, and they will compete for the honor of representing India in the FIFA Global Series 2022.
I mean, if the competition was, not enough, they've just notched it up a bit, right? And right at the very end is where we're going to see up Squid Games बोलिए. That was a really nice analogy. I mean, did not cross my mind. However, आज भी कुछ बेहतरीन matches हैं हमारे लिए. दर्शकों को बता दे, all these players are competing for a massive 78 lakhs INR prize pool over here. And सोने पे सुहागा ये है कि आपके लिए जो भी MVP रहेगा उसके लिए अलग से prize pool allotted है. You've got 4 lakhs for that. So the first position getting 15 lakhs. That's great. That's massive. Second position 7.5 lakhs. Third 5, followed by fourth with 2.5, and other than that, the players are living under one roof in one hotel. They're enjoying the company of each other. Because considering the fact it's almost been 2 years that we're trying to adjust to the new around us, right? So उसके बाद ये जो change in atmosphere, you usually always play online together. जो भी scrimmages होते हैं, whatever it is, it's done online, and suddenly you meet them in person. And भाई तू तो अलग दिखता है, तेरी आवाज अलग है, तेरा चेहरा अलग है. You cannot be like this. It's not happening.
Yeah, and who knows, when they meet, they also might be twinning. In fact, all teammates are twinning today because they're all wearing the same jerseys. But yeah, it is playing in LAN is a completely different experience. Yeah, even I have put together a few tournaments with my friends through the last year, and वो in person खेलने का मजा ही कुछ और है.
100%. And चलिए schedule की बात ही कर रहे थे. We've got 4 exciting clubs coming in to participate. चलिए नजर डालते हैं and let's find for ourselves who are going to be facing off against each other. We've got the first match, Northeast United FC going up against Hyderabad FC. Ahmad Rocks against Adizima. The second matchup will be, of course, Mufu going up against DK. बहुत ही exciting matchup. And then this is one of the really interesting ones in Jamshedpur FC going up against Kerala Blasters. Jamshedpur FC का जो anticipated start था वैसे हम लोग को नहीं देखने को मिला, right? But today is the day where they try and change things around. But it's not going to be an easy task because you're going up against Akshat and Lokmanu, who have certainly been on a high considering their win yesterday.
Yeah, and Akshat, of course, struggled a little bit in his first game. You could see उनका थोड़ा confidence down था. But I'm very excited, particularly about that first one, and we'll talk about that as we build up to it.
Oh, we definitely will. But chaliye, let's see what the players of Northeast United FC and Hyderabad FC have to say in an exclusive footage.
My name is Imad Jamil Ahmed and I'm from Bangalore. I'm 21 years old.
I'm Mufaddal Burhani from Surat. I'm 18 and I'm going to be representing
Northeast United FC. I hope I can make the fans and the club proud.
I started watching football 10 years back. I fell in love with the game watching Ronaldinho play.
The passion started 3 years ago when I started watching FC Barcelona matches and highlights.
And I wanted to represent that on the virtual pitch. I think we can win this tournament with hard work and the support of our fans.
Watch us and support us in the streams and we will not disappoint you guys.
I'm Darvesh from Delhi. I'm 22 years old.
I'm Aditya. I'm 23. I'm from Bhopal. And I will be playing from Hyderabad FC.
Hyderabad FC has one of the coolest kits in the league.
We are a new team, and you know news is always better. So better watch out for us.
So I started playing the game competitively around 4 years ago.
FIFA 22 is a step towards being a professional.
The game comes to me naturally and I was born to play this game.
Every Hyderabad fan is special, and I want you all to come and support us.
I believe if you watch our first game day, you'll keep watching us till the end.
All right, दोनों ही teams all riled up to face off against each other. चलिए जो पहली teams in contention, we've got Northeast United FC and Hyderabad FC. And I think Azim हम दोनों ने इनको in the past खेलते हुए देखा है. उन्होंने एक match अपने respectively खेले. And we had Northeast United FC winning, the first time they came into play. And Hyderabad FC did have a little tough time. But आज का matchup, the first one, of course, Imad and him going up against Adizima. What do you think? Who has a better chance?
Oh, I think both players are very, very well matched. I think Northeast United FC in their first match, बहुत ही dominant display था in terms of both of them, their defensive positioning was absolutely outstanding. Co-op game, maybe they performed really well. And I think both these boys, they really enjoy each other's company. They're constantly laughing, smiling, joking around. And in the game mode that they play, Ultimate Team, chemistry is a very, very important factor. And उन दोनों के बीच में, not just in the foot cards that they have, but also between the players, chemistry बहुत ही बढ़िया. And I'm expecting big things from them today.
Oh, definitely. दोनों की तरफ से. In fact, अगर हैदराबाद FC की भी बात करें, their first initial competition was against Chennai FC. I mean, starting में ही आपको शेर के साथ छोड़ दे रहे हैं. तो and this is where things start getting really tipsy-turvy when you first match you're going up against the best of the best out there. So, but still, despite that fact, I must say कि Adizima and DK did really put up a very good effort out of that one. And एक match जीता था. That is where I think they beat Nodwin. So that was a good news. I think they can reflect that today. Look at the players. Everyone is just excited, waiting for their game to begin. And I think Adizima and Imad is definitely one of those games that I'm really excited for. We're talking about Imad, the ladies magnet, and we've got Adizima who's excited as ever. Right, to go after him. And online काफी बार खेला होगा. LAN पे I think this is the first time, if I'm not wrong, they're going up against each other. It's going to be one hell of a show.
Yeah, and nice to see the Hyderabad FC boys also in their away jerseys for the first time, changed from the regular black and yellow that we've been seeing. Looking good. I love how DK is already properly suited up, like playing an actual football match. And in fact, the Northeast United FC boys also in their favored red color. So let's see. I think Imad played an excellent game last time out against. Can you remind me who it was against?
Oh, Imad went off against, if I'm not wrong, ATK Mohun Bagan. Or
yes,
was
ATK
it? No. It was against Mumbai City FC. So
yes, Mumbai City FC. Yes, and I think they were pretty convincing as the match is already kicked off. And let's see if Imad can continue his streak. But Adizima, very, very experienced player, and he's going to be a fearsome opponent. And जैसे कि हम देख सकते हैं, always the same meta for people who are joining in for the first time. You're going to be a little surprised to see lots of classic players in there. But these are the best players available in the game, and these guys have unlocked accounts. So, want the best players, you need to have the best tools.
Oh yes, and I think it has always helped him, right? And देखना पड़ेगा आज कुछ अलग changes हैं या नहीं, but from what I can see, it's the same players. But there you have right off the bat, Imad trying to build up his attack. But again, you're going up against Adi Zima, who is no less than you, maybe if you might say, just a little better. So आज Hyderabad FC do have a chance of getting those crucial 3 points that they've been eyeing out for and open up their accounts. But I think it's going to be a really tough tie because starting Zim, we're getting to see the match pretty much even up until now.
Yeah, and you are seeing Adizima, I mean, is a little under pressure defensively, almost an own goal there, got a bit lucky with the deflection. And a bit of a connection fail. Looks like we'll be starting again. Unfortunately, these things happen once in a while. No technology, sadly, in the world is perfect, but I'm sure we'll be back online within a minute or so.
I mean, technology, right? कुछ चीजें होती है जो हमारे बस में नहीं होती. That is, one thing is of course the internet just going off on its own whims, right? जितनी अच्छी internet लगा लो, जितना कुछ भी कर लो, एक point पे there's gonna be some little jitter, and thankfully no harm done, right? We were just starting off, just a couple of minutes gone past by, and all right. तो players को एक दूसरे के formation के बारे में हल्का सा idea हो चुका है, what they're gonna be putting on the table and how they're gonna be performing. So they have that a little bit of an idea. Now, in this period, I think Azim, they're going to try and break down each other's strategy, right? कि ये क्या कोशिश कर रहा था and क्या. What according to you felt, in terms of the formation and everything, what did you feel about the first initial few minutes?
I mean, of course, it was a very, maybe less than a minute or so played, so very hard to tell what they were trying to do tactically. But you can see there's a little bit of banter happening across the table. So maybe Adizima, who's been poking a few fingers across the table, seems to have maybe picked up on something that Imad is doing. So let's see if he can take advantage of it.
Oh, definitely. He might be trying to do that because, again, LAN event, this is where you can actually try to get into the minds of your opponents, right? You can make those really scary gazes at them. Then, a lot of players make that poker face. A lot of things do happen in LAN, and that is what it makes it so interesting and exciting as well. But right now, we're just waiting कि, players अपने कब Coca-Cola उठाएं and they start chugging because that is what they've been loving to do so far. And Naveen, I think we all know what happens when you have enough of Coca-Cola. You absolute unleash your monster side. Naveen is usually a really calm guy. Yesterday I did meet him in person, and he's a very shy, a composed guy. And then suddenly inside the game he's a monster. And I was asking Saransh ki bhai ye kya ho gaya? तुमने आज क्या खिला के भेजा था? Saransh is like, bro, I have no idea. He just started popping off. He was playing better FIFA than me. I could not believe my eyes. That's really good for me. I was like, yeah, I think ये 15 लाख आपके ही पॉकेट में जाने वाले अगर नवीन ऐसे ही खेलते रहे तो.
Yeah, I think Chennai and FC obviously right now very heavy favorites based on how they've been playing. As we kick off for the second time, the first one, bhul jao, that never happened. It was just a glitch in the matrix, and here we go once again. And again, no harm done. Possession was with Northeast United FC, and they continue. And let's see, looking at the radar, it does look like Imad is playing a 4-2-3-1 from what I can tell, and looks like maybe a 4-4-2 for Hyderabad FC.
So basically pretty much default standard formation that we've seen in the meta, right? 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1 being inculcated by these two players. But right now, I think Northeast United FC would be wanting to keep a little bit of possession on themselves, just try to build up attack up. So they're not shying away from spreading the ball across, the left wings and the right wings, but just waiting for that one little opening where they make that master pass and they get the attack started.
That was a very masterful pass over there. Unfortunately, well, he does manage to keep it. And no, it's nice to see these guys how their games evolve. He goes for a long shot from there, very unexpected. Ronaldo left foot, and unfortunately ends up with a goal kick. But trying to maybe catch Adizima sleeping a little bit, trying to take a few long shots so that encourages Adizima to come out and close them down a little further, because those are percentage shots. Sometimes there's a 10% chance that one of those might just fly into the top corner. If you don't close that down, it can get a bit difficult for you, and Adizima may need to think about that a little bit more going ahead.
But I think, considering the experience that Adizima has, he's not going to have any trouble. But look at him, goes building up that pace, just to let it go for a goal kick. And, this is where Northeast United, they've also worked their defenses up. I think Imad really had a very good game against the players of Mumbai City FC other day. And he went up against Tikka, one of those experienced lads.
Yes.
And, Imad was looking rock solid.
Yeah, and again, trying that ball in behind the defense, trying to move, Adizima's defensive shape as much as he can, and working that opening. Let's see if he can. He has worked the opening. If he can get the shot away, but just the wrong angle for him. I don't think he had the time to turn around and get the shot on the right foot, which is what the problem was for him over there. And bit of a lucky break, you have to say, for Adizima over there, because Imad really picked his way through. And now it's about the defense, and we've seen both the Northeast United FC boys, their defense has been absolutely rock solid. So I believe neither of them, I think in the first game, Imad Rocks did not even concede a goal. So looking very, very solid. Although this is great, and again the left foot of Ronaldo not working for either team today.
Yes, it hasn't really been a pleasant start, right? 20 मिनट हो चुके हैं, अभी तक एक भी गोल देखने को नहीं मिला. And I think कहीं ना कहीं एक replication धीरे-धीरे बनते जा रहा है of the hero ISL, right? जिस तरीके से teams इतने ज़्यादा seriously खेल रहे हैं, because we are all anticipated कि when you're playing FIFA 22 on PlayStation, it's bound to happen that you're gonna score a couple more goals, right? But now the differences is not much, right? It's being max to max, एक गोल का difference से teams जीत रहे हैं. But Adizima, really good pass.
This time he works the angle again, well saved by the goalkeeper. And I think we will start to see, a little bit more cagey affairs, because as the tournament progresses, ऐसा होने वाला है कि everybody's seen the other play, although that is beautifully worked, has to be a goal, and it is. Really, absolutely sold him a dummy over there, Adizima, and Imad now needs to just, as the Mufu next to him was telling him, okay, just calm down, it's fine. You're bound to concede goals eventually over here. And that is what has happened. And Hyderabad FC have a pretty well-deserved lead, you have to say.
Yes, and this is one of those goals where we can say that he did not see it coming, right? जिस तरीके से build up हो रहा था, we are looking at a lot of those late cutbacks आजकल players use कर रहे हैं. Everyone taking a page of yesterday's matchup where we did see, Kerala Blasters FC going up against Mohan Bagan. I think it was Dhillon who was time and again trying that, and did succeed against Akshat. And after that we saw कि players को ये चीज मिल जा रहा है. They kind of playing on that कि चलिए एक player तो follow up के लिए रहेगा, he's gonna take that shot and is not gonna miss, considering it's an icon play. So that has been working out. And again, Hyderabad FC, the fans are gonna be elated that they've got that early lead, which possibly
and again going for the same move.
Yeah,
he's going for the same thing again, although crosses the ball back. That's a very strange move, but because I think he was going for the same thing, and this is becoming something of a recurring theme, as you said, the players using that cutback, because it is very difficult to defend. There are few ways to counter that. Maybe you move your goalkeeper out slightly, but then that leaves it open to the shot at the near post. So a lot of mind games, a lot of second guessing is going to happen over here. And for now, Adizima, that goal has really given him confidence. He's really keeping this ball well, making chances, trying to get in behind the fullbacks. Now this time building through the centre, and this time Northeast United FC fairly well organised, and they'll be looking to strike back before half time.
Oh, they definitely have to, because if they don't, then the pressures definitely it's gonna start building up, right? So अब यहाँ पे the way things have gone past by, he need this is where Imad needs to kind of ponder, right? He's trying that one, his opponent Adizima is trying to go through that cutback. He's got to have some answers ready, because some way down the other, अगर right side से किया तो he would also try to do the same from the left side as well. So he's got to keep someone
and that's a great ball. Oh, that's beautifully worked, but off the crossbar, so unlucky. That was an incredible pass through to the last man by Adizima, but just a little bit too much power on that shot. hits the crossbar, and it's Imad right now, just about clinging on. He really needs to make sure he's not 2 goals down by halftime, because otherwise it's a very, very uphill task.
Oh, yeah, could not agree more with you, because abhi already halftime ho raha hai, and then suddenly if you are entering into half with yet one more goal conceded, this is the kind of situation that Imad is not really used to, right? This is where he's going to be actually put to test by Adi Zima, and what a perfect matchup this has been, and it's going to be a close affair pretty much. And again, an attack being built up was spotted off, and there you go, the halftime whistle being blown up, and our chocolate boy seems to be in a little bit of a situation over here, and Adizima is all chill. He knows what he's doing. He's come up with a plan.
Yeah, and you can see towards the end of the game as well, it looks like Imad is trying to use those long range shots and play the percentages. Maybe he'll take 5 or 6 of them, and one will end up in the top corner. But he's finding it difficult to penetrate into the box, and I think that's pretty much what Mufu is telling him as well. That you need to get into the box quicker, faster, spend some time over there. Move the ball around, move the defense from side to side, and then that opening will definitely appear.
And Adizima and DK, they have a different conversation altogether. He's just asking, "Bhai, kitna difference rakhne wala hai? Is it going to be big or it's going to be small?" And he's either ways like, whatever. Just leave the next match to me. I'm all excited to go up against Mufu again. Northeast United, the boys, they're kind of expressionless, right? At times, and this goes in their favor. You don't really know what they're thinking. And you certainly wondering कि बंदे क्या सोच रहे हैं यहाँ पे, what are they going to try and pull off against us. And right now in the second half, this is where Imad would be wanting to change a few things out, but we have a free kick. Interesting.
Yeah, does have a free kick, decides to take it short, which of course seems to be the recurring theme for most competitive matches that we see. Nobody wants to take a chance by putting a long ball in and exposing themselves to the counter attack. And yeah, possession is all. This game is all about possession, keeping the ball, and right now they're right in the corner over there. It's a very, very dominant start. I don't think Imad has touched the ball since we've had the second half kickoff, and really needs to get possession soon, because time's gonna run out. And this looks like it could be. Oh, what a shot that was! Completely unexpected. That was arrowing into the far corner, and he's lucky that his keeper managed to pull that out. But yeah, it's clear that Adizima has come here to show absolutely no mercy. He does not want to give any opportunity, although he's just given an opportunity. And now it's time for Imad to try and build something on the counter attack.
Oh, definitely, and he's got to start doing that with getting a little bit of more possession, more midfield control for himself. He does it though. There you go. It's been sort of thrown away. But one thing for sure, Azim, it's the domino effect happening. One thing leading to another. Look at the confidence surging in Adizima. He's starting to take some shots that you conventionally would not. And from what we've seen in this tournament so far, I think a few of the shots do go in.
Oh, this has opened up crazily well for him. I think Adizima was just shocked by the amount of space he had over there. He just froze in the middle, saying कि यार ये कैसा हो गया यार, इतना easy कैसे हो सकता है ये? And then just almost deliberately made it more difficult for himself.
Yeah, I mean there was that cue where he could have really gone in for that long finesse shot, and maybe possibly could have gone in, right? We've seen players taking chances and it has succeeded.
Yeah.
So
that's a lovely fake again. And he's going for that same tactic, going for the pullback. Surely if he gets the shot away, that's well defended. Imad Rocks making sure that his defense remains solid, because he cannot afford to concede one more. He has to make sure he's still in this game, try and get one, and then hopefully get something else on the counter attack, because right now Adizima no mood to even give the ball away, and we see a pause queued. So maybe a tactical change on the way from Imad.
Oh, and it's necessary, right, at this particular moment. And I really felt क्योंकि last goal पे अगर थोड़ा सा elevation होता वो ball पे, maybe the player could have tried for a bicycle. It was a perfect setup, and could have actually gone in from that distance. And if they were given the right power, but it's okay. We've talked about Imad having a really rock solid defense. He's been a little vulnerable, and I think mostly has to go with the midfield that has been relatively weaker because the passing game of Adizima came constantly keeping possession. Like you've said, Azim, it tends to get the other player really frustrated, and that is where he starts making mistakes, and that is where you should capitalize. I believe that is the sort of strategy that Hyderabad FC have been opting for, and it has worked out. A yellow card
A
also
yellow
coming up.
card. One of the first few we've seen in this tournament, a yellow card, and that is a measure of maybe the frustration that's showing a little bit for Imad, where you can see Adizima is very happy with that 1-0. He's like, "ठीक है, एक goal मारो, 10 goal मारो, result तो same ही है. So I'm just going to keep my 1-0. I'm not going to force the issue. I'm going to keep the ball, take my time building the attacks." Even though there's time technically in the game for me to have maybe 10 or 15 attacks, I'm going to take my time and put 2 or 3 or 4 quality attacks. So he's going for quality over quantity, and that is, of course, very, very frustrating when you're the opponent.
But on the contrary, Azim, we are sort of privy to all those late-minute equalizers, late-minute winners happening, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is another one of those matches where we see an equalizer happening around, let's say, the 88th or the 90th minute after the stoppage time once it starts ticking off. So we've seen that. So I think one more goal for Adizima, I think, would be a really safer affair, considering he's got an opponent like Imad against him, and he's looked pretty solid on his defenses. His midfield has been working really good. His passing game has been strong. I must say, I think Adizima so far has, undoubtedly has been the better player over here.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's just not given. I mean, even if Imad wanted to showcase what he can do, he's been given very limited opportunities to do so. And now, when he reaches the final third, that's where it's been difficult. But he opens the chance up. Could have gone for the shot, and wow, goes for the near post over there, trying to, almost give him the eyes and pretend like he's going to the back post. And now he goes for the 360 roulette. Will he go for a cutback now? He does, and again, well defended. Now suddenly Imad, with that little switch that he's made, I think he's brought on Messi and Salah as well. So he's looking to change the way he's approaching it, and now on the counter attack, gets a bit fortunate with the deflection, and now can he make something happen? No, it's just too crowded in the midfield.
Oh, it is. And I think Messi and Salah are not just coming in for the first time, right? इन्होंने co-op में भी same चीज किया था. They've gotten them in substitution, but the counter attack
Now,
being formed.
this is a big moment. If Imad can defend this, he does still have a shot. He does manage to defend it. As you said, his defense has typically been very solid. Just that one lapse in the middle of the game. And now looking to play fast counter-attacking football. That's what he needs to do. He's going to look for the through ball in behind. No, he decides to go central instead. And moving him around, trying to find those opportunities, but again, very, very solid from Adizima, and he knows all he needs to win the ball back, go on the counter-attack, either try to score or waste a little bit of time, take that ball into the corner. Oh, that's an excellent ball. Will he go for the chip? He's tried to do it, and there we go. That's the game. Adizima has completely sucker punched him over there. It was a good attempt. Imad really had Adizima against the ropes for a couple of plays. But Adizima just on the day he's been the far better, the far more efficient player, and it's thoroughly deserved 2-0 right now.
Yeah, it was sort of coming, right? We did see it, considering we did see the sparks just breaking out when Hyderabad FC went against Chennai, right? Adizima was no less, right? It was just that one goal, I believe, against a player like Saranj. If you can, sort of keep your calm, I'm pretty sure you're going to be confident when you're going up against Imad, right? Again, Imad, few little slip-ups in defense. I'm pretty sure he's acknowledged his mistakes over here, and he's going to work on it. But that is not the end of the story for Northeast United FC, right? Because they still have a good chance to make a comeback if they can win the rest 2 games that are, going to happen after this.
Yeah, and of course, the next game you will have DK, who has in fact lost his first game during the first match. So will have a point to prove, and Mufu will be on a high after a very, I think he just it was a very dominant 1-0 if I remember correctly, where he didn't allow his opposition any chances, not even a sniff of the ball. And again, Imad trying to get something together, but now it's very difficult. Even the second goal he conceded, he's committing a lot of players forward because he knows he needs to score, and that makes the counter-attack much, much easier for the opposition.
Yeah, it's kind of like
just not happening.
Yeah, I really feel it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? It's going to give you results, but if you mess up, then you're going down pretty bad. And
Yeah.
that is the sort of a trade-off. But again, desperate times call for desperate measures. Not enough for Imad as Northeast United FC. They've been beaten in the first game, and it has to be Hyderabad FC. They've been looking confident. Adizima of giving them a really good start, the kind of a start that they wanted. Exactly a good setup, I think, for DK when he goes against Mufu.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting battle, this one, because DK, I have been reading up a little bit about, the way he describes his game. And he says that he's a guy who enjoys playing fast, direct football. He enjoys losing a lot of skill moves. And to come up against a defensive wall that is like Mufu, as we see the final result, of course, Hyderabad FC winning this game very easily, very comfortably. Adizima 2-0 to Imad Rocks.
Yeah, and Adizima not just on the offense, but he did a pretty good job on both the midfields and the defense. Keeping enough possession. I think it was almost a perfect game for Adizima. I could not find any huge mistakes being committed by him. There were no errors, and he really enjoyed his FIFA today. But Imad, he certainly has a few of those areas that he could certainly work upon, and that is again for all the remainder of the players that we do see them. That the threatening cutback at that last moment. Players have to be prepared for it, because if the moment you sort of let it slip past by, that is the moment you're committing a mistake. That is the moment where someone is definitely capitalizing on it and is gonna punish you. But that being said, Azim, this is just a game number one. And game number two is, of course, going to be even more exciting. We've got two equally contested opponents going up against each other. Both of them, relatively new to the scene. DK is just a little bit of a slight circuit advantage. He's been there for quite some time. But again, against a guy like Mufu, he's very jolly. He's very happy.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel the pressure at all. And ऐसा लग ही नहीं रहा है कि अभी एक मैच जस्ट हारे हैं.
Yeah, and Mufu, of course, he's like a little smiling assassin on the side, right? He looks very sweet, very cute. But once he gets into the game, he's quite ruthless, quite merciless with the way he plays. He's excellently organized, very, very compact at the back. His player switching defensively, I think, is one of his strongest attributes. And as a guy who is defensively very strong versus a guy who enjoys attacking a lot in DK, it's going to be quite an interesting mix. I expect we'll see DK trying to play more on the front foot, and then we'll be seeing Mufu doing, a little bit more of trying to, almost scam goals on the counter attack, because I expect the Northeast United FC goal to be under a lot of pressure.
Oh, yes. And I think, again, a few pointers must have been shared from Adizima's side towards TK, right? I think they've got a quite a comfortable grasp over this game. And, all they have to do is focus on that first goal, right? First goal, first half, mein pressure agar bana le, then that is going to help them towards the second half, if they can build a few more. But again, the players are controlling. The players are, of course, going to be different. We've got DK this time going up against Mufu. थोड़ी ही देर में दर्शकों को बता दें कि match is gonna get started, and we're gonna get in and experience all the action firsthand only here in the eISL. So Mufu, again, he's gonna be contemplating. He's gonna be thinking, what are the strategies? What should I do to really beat a player like DK? I mean, who had a really good football. I must say that, against, let's say, he did go up against, if I'm not wrong, I think he went against Naveen,
I think it was
right?
Naveen, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Naveen.
And he played pretty decent against, the likes of Naveen. And he did manage to win it out, if I
I
last
believe
correct my
DK
memory.
won the match. It was,
Yes.
I think, it was a very close game. We saw Saranj beating Adizima very closely, 2-1. Then we saw DK, I think, with a fairly convincing win. It was a 4-2 or something, I believe, for DK against Naveen. And then Saranj, with both of them with that, clutch winner at the end to steal the points.
Yes, so I'm pretty sure, that now that Northeast United FC know that they're going up against formidable opponents, and Darvesh, we've seen him being really vocal, when he gets down to scoring goals. He gets that energy inside of him, and also radiates it to his partner. So that is very important. You start feeling yourself, you start pumping yourself, it sort of demoralizes the opposition also. Those little body languages makes a huge difference, and all this happens of course when you are playing under one roof. तो थोड़ी देर में जैसा हमने कहा match is going to start off. There you go, the bro fist has been done, and we are finally kicking off with game number 2. And there you go, Northeast United right off the bat keeping some possession.
Yeah, and Northeast United FC, I think from Hyderabad FC's point of view, they will want to win this game as soon and make sure that this doesn't go to a co-op, because we've seen the coordination between both the Northeast United FC boys has been spectacular in their first game. So they want to make sure that this tie is done dusted before that it reaches that point. There's a lovely spread of play using that left foot of Ronaldinho at that point, but slightly unfortunate error, leaving that ball to go maybe a millimeter over the line, and of course it's a goal kick.
Yeah, and again, Azim, अगर बात करें पुराने matches की, we've seen co-op में we did speculate कि Imad और Mufu का coordination काफी अच्छा होगा. But if I can last recall it, that match did go down to the wire. So and today they must have worked on a few fallacies. I think that this is something that Imad had also pointed out on his socials, right? He was like, I played decent, but we can certainly do better in terms of co-op. So that's what
that's a beautiful bit of play.
There you go.
And we're seeing DK. He loves those skill moves in tight areas. We saw just a little glimpse of that. And we also know that Mufu loves to defend, which is very unusual to see that a lot of players these days are very attack forward. But Mufu realizes that defense is a very powerful meta in this game, and that's what he likes to do: play on the counter attack. And I think you can pay attention to his player switching. Generally, it tends to pick the right player to cut out the pass, and let's see if he can continue that form today.
Oh yes, right now with the way things are, we're talking about a really good offense going up up against a really good defense. We've just got to see who is the better player and who makes the least mistakes. I think that is what is gonna be our threshold of where we see this match finally breaking down. But for now, it's all even Stevens. Nothing for both these teams up until now. It's just 15 minutes gone past by.
And as you can see, that's a great ball in behind. He's using his fullbacks. Finally, a new fullback. No more Theo Hernandez. He's going for the old school combination of Cafu at right back and Roberto Carlos. So maybe we might be seeing a few interesting free kicks coming from Mufu. Let's see how he deals with that. And a couple of changes to the regular meta that we've been seeing. I think particularly from Northeast United FC, we are seeing a Ronaldinho, we're seeing a Maradona, we're seeing that DK prefers to have Lothar Matthäus in midfield as opposed to Ruud Gullit. So let's see how this matches up. He's using Pele, but again, very, very difficult to break down this Northeast United defense. Let's see if he manages it. And we've seen this from the first minute that Mufu has set foot into this tournament. He just reads the opposition so well, far better than most players that I've seen in this tournament. So that's his game. He wants to win the ball back quickly, get on the counter attack, maybe use one or two skill moves at the end. Very smash and grab kind of player. And so it's a refreshing. It's very frustrating as an opponent when you are faced against this kind of player, because you think you are controlling the game, you have all the possession, bas wo last ball nahi ja raha hai. And then suddenly you get hit on the counter attack. It's not the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah, and him being so expressionless makes things even more tough, right? To really think what the player is doing. Now DK, he's like an open book. You can understand, the way he plays. He's pretty aggressive. That's how he likes to go. And up against someone like Mufu, who you do not know what's going on in his head, makes things difficult. But this time, DK getting a little bit overwhelmed over here, goes for a long-range finesse shot just to get.
And sometimes when you're feeling that you can't break down defense, that's what you start thinking of doing, and that's what Imad was actually feeling in the last game, where he's like, I just cannot get into that final third, that penalty box. So let me take a shot and see, maybe there's a few remnants of the early game being broken that are still left over here, and that shot will just fly into the top corner.
And well, right now, things aren't looking that much, deep for both these teams. They're trying to take those long range shots.
Yeah.
They're trying a lot of other stuffs, but well, both of them have been really spectacular, right? Not giving a lot of openings. They're just trying to play around at midfield, still in pursuit for that one really good pass.
Yeah, and let's see, he does like that crossfield ball, Mufu. Likes to switch the play from left to right. So let's have a look and see what he can do as we see Marquinhos now coming across. And we see the goal, and wow, it's just out of nowhere. Mufu has managed to volley that in. I think that was a bit of a mistake there from DK, a little bit of a lapse in concentration. And we have a goal for Northeast United FC, and this plays perfectly into the game plan of Mufu. He loves the idea of getting a nice 1-goal lead, sitting back, being compact, and then playing on the counter attack.
Oh yeah, definitely. And heading in and getting that goal on, this is exactly what you're gonna need right now. And considering this has definitely put the players of Hyderabad FC into contemplation. Now, ab kya kare? This is where things start getting really exciting over here. And what do you think, Azim, should be an answer for that?
I mean, for DK, it's just now the idea of he's going to keep attacking the same way, and Mufu is going to keep defending the same way. So it's about whether he has the skill and the ability to break down that solid defense, and he has finally found an opening. Let's see, 1-on-1. Oh, he's just, look at that, just 3-4 players surrounding him by the time he's made that decision. If he had made that a little quicker, little bit more on instinct, he could have got through over there. And now Mufu again, let's see, he goes for the 1-2, but of course DK read that as the most obvious move. And now, yeah, it's about, for DK, it's about not conceding another goal while still attacking. Is a very, very fine balance to find. And let's see what they can do. Again, Mufu just does not let you breathe. It's just... I mean, as somebody who is also a defense first player myself, I'm thoroughly enjoying the way he's organizing his defense.
Oh, and this is where it starts getting really stingy for the boys from Hyderabad FC, right? DK, he's not starting to feel himself. This is where he's gonna hold himself right at the heads, and he's gonna start making those really careless mistakes. And this is where Mufu is gonna capitalize even more. This is where he's got that right opening. He can get a few more for himself, because this is how Northeast United FC have been wanting to play. And what Imad could not do, well, Mufu has done it, and all he needs to do is just get a few more goals, just ensure that they get the series tied up 1 each apiece, and then in the co-op mode, that is where they try to get the game in their favor.
Yeah, and I think we have some of the players who are watching the broadcast as well, who are a little upset that we have said that they have, I think I have said that they lost. I think Naveed has not lost a game, but I mistakenly said that he's lost a game 4-2. So my apologies, Naveed, you have not lost. You're an amazing player, best player. You've never lost. You will never lose. Is that enough of an apology? I think that should do.
I mean, this is just human errors, right? हम भी इंसान हैं, थोड़ी बहुत गलतियां हो जाती हैं, and we make sure that it gets rectified. And yes, I'm gonna make sure I've got an entire list in front of me, सारे pointers, सारे scores के साथ, so that it gets even better for our viewers, because Naveen is definitely an amazing player, no doubt. And yesterday, the way he played, Azim, we were all baffled. The kind of everyone was shell shocked. And that is exactly, I've seen him play in previous tournaments before, and I know he's a really good one. And yesterday was something else. He was just on a different level, as if he evolved.
Yeah. Yesterday, I mean, that was just one of those, one of those days where everything works out just perfectly. And now, of course, it's up to him to keep that consistency up. But, let's return to this game. We see now DK is going to be even more aggressive. And again, just... always you are mobbed. It's like playing a game in a local local game in Bombay or Delhi. In Bombay, like on a Juhu Beach match, where there's just everybody around the ball before you can do anything with it. And really getting crowded out. As a Dadar station just a vibe lag raha hai for people who are from Mumbai, who will get that reference.
It's It's
Yeah.
not just Juhu Beach, Azim. I mean, I still remember when we were kids, right? We had that games period going on, and football
Yeah.
rehta tha. There used to be like 20 guys, and everyone used to run after that one football. There, वहाँ पे कोई formation नहीं, कुछ नहीं, कोई ईमान धर्म कुछ नहीं था. It was
Yeah.
just the ball and 18, 19 boys going after it. जिसका पैर लगा, whoever scored, won.
Yeah, and Mufu, we are seeing trying to. I mean, obviously he's trying to slow the game down and not try to frustrate DK by not giving him possession, similar to the way Adizima was doing it before. But playing a little bit with fire, I think it's a bit early to start passing the ball around in defense. I don't think DK will be appreciating this particularly. But what he wants to get out of this is that he wants DK to just get a little frustrated and take that one player out of possession to press on the ball. So that he can get the counter attack. But for right now, he's I think it's very early in the game to be trying to waste time like this.
Oh yes, and at this point, you cannot really rule DK out because we know
Yeah.
that he can get explosive any single moment. All he needs is just that one little opening, and he's gonna punish you. And if that happens, then the match again gets tied, which again leaves Hyderabad FC with that 1-0 lead up, right? So they've got to score
Yeah.
one, and this might be a good
And
chance.
okay, he's worked the opening and finally gets
you
the
go.
goal. And as I said, Mufu it was too early in the game for him to start doing that. He needed to continue playing his normal game, and now finally it's a different scenario for him. Now Mufu has to come out and start attacking and start playing on the front foot again. So it's going to be quite difficult, quite challenging for him.
Oh yes, and this is what Mufu never thought, right? And this is clearly visible from his facial expression. And DK, we know the moment this lad gets one goal up, he gets all riled up, right? He is in for more. He's hungry, and that displays. And we're gonna see that aggression being up by a notch, and he's gonna try to pull one more off. But the previous goal, I really felt, Mufu was playing a perfect defense up until that one last point.
Yeah, and again, very unnecessarily trying to just pass the ball around and waste time instead of proactively, trying to score a goal, which would then create more opportunities. But let's see. He's very much on the back foot now, and I'm sure Mufu will be rattled by that as well.
Oh yes, and again another chance built up, but again Mufu this time being, however, vigilant on his defense. He's not let a few threads open up over there, but now he's gonna press that attack with Ronaldinho. He's got Pele, however, on the left wing, passing it on towards Ronaldo. This looks like a promising chance, as we could see Maradona making that mad dash inside the D box.
Oh, that's well worked, and he's not much for tricks. He likes to just use his left foot dribbling. Not going to. And that's working out quite well for him. With Ronaldinho, just couldn't work the opening, and that's where you needed a little trick. Maybe just a simple ball roll, or just a short fake. Anything. Rabona over there. Anything would have just bought him that little bit of space. And again, well defended. Defense is never the issue for him. And on the left flank, if he looks at it, he's got acres of space. Didn't spot that pass. And going for a very ambitious pass, but he's found Maradona and he's found the back of the net. That's a brilliant counter attack by Mufu, going very direct, straight down the center of DK's defense. And the man, the myth, the legend, Diego Maradona, with the Superman celebration, puts Northeast United FC ahead.
Yes, and he certainly is immortal right now. The kind of a status that he is, of course, achieved in his days when he was amongst us. But of course, he's immortal inside the game, and he's delivered, right? And one other thing, I really like the way he created that opening. He realized, these long through passes are the key to break through DK, and that has worked out for him. And he's going to try to edge in one more. But again, this match still on really interesting foothold that we've reached, because any single moment, we never know. DK can score one more, and then we're tied up, because that is what Hyderabad FC at this point would be wanting for at the very least. Get a tie, it's fine, leave it to co-op, maybe try to get another tie, and they've won the series. They've won those 3 important points that they've been wanting.
Yeah, and of course, lots of hydration happening right now. And for Mufu, I think it's important he doesn't make the same mistake he did last time, where he just, again, as I said, started wasting time too early. I think it's important for him to obviously keep attacking, keep the ball in the opposition's half and not his own half. Even if it means just passing the ball around the box over there, trying to work an opportunity. He is playing a standard, pretty much a flat 4-4-2, and Hyderabad FC, they're looking more like a 4-2-3-1. So for him, maybe he wants to keep his wingers maybe a little bit conservative. Obviously, don't want the fullbacks coming forward. So to allow him to attack without the threat of being counter-attacked very aggressively.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
for that long ball again over there.
Yeah, and it has been, working along. It hasn't been broken, so why fix it? That has been.
Oh,
but
that's
it's got
a
been
big
blocked.
mistake, and just about gets away with it. Just about getting away with that. And again, trying to be too fancy in defense and conceding the goal. That is, I mean, I feel for him a little bit because it was just a bad deflection that happened in defense. He's also a little bit of a wry smile on his face. Once that first error happened, which was a bit of a glitch, you could say.
Yeah.
It was all sort of very downhill from there in terms of trying to recover that position because his defense was all out of shape. And a slight stroke of luck over there for DK. And now let's see if he can capitalize and maybe try to close this tie out by getting a winner.
I mean, look at DK, right? He's also, being rock solid, emotionless. He's the one usually, celebrating. He's the one, after scoring that one. But again, आसान शब्दों में कहे तो कहीं ना कहीं वहाँ पे रायता फैल गया था in his defense.
Yeah.
With that first mess up, and he just could not recover. That is Mufu. But now with the scores tied up and just 8 minutes to go, things have been exciting than ever. So let's see if
that may be offside. No, it's not. He's worked that reasonably well. Oh, this time a stroke of luck for Mufu in the box. But again, I think his unwillingness to do anything fancy in the box. He just wants to use his left foot, that agile dribbling, and that's all he's willing to do. Maybe not that confident with the right stick. And I do feel that is going to be a bit of an Achilles heel for him until he starts developing that, because being great at defense is one thing, but if your defense gets breached, you need to have a plan B after that.
Oh, no, he does. But this is a really good chance because DK lately has been feeling himself the way he's been playing, making the right passes, finding the right opening, going for a long finesse shot just to be, held on by Yashin, another legendary player, goalkeeper that a lot of players have been using, and I think DK has been it has been the go-to choice for him. But again, a similar sort of a chance being tried to be created over here, but I think that has also been there.
Yeah, I mean, it is 2-2. I think a relatively fair reflection of how the game went. And now, obviously, the good news for Hyderabad FC is that they cannot lose this tie. And they just need to make sure now that from Hyderabad FC's perspective, all they need is just a draw, and they have the victory in the bag.
Oh yes, and I think considerably, with Adi Zima and DK are playing quite some matches out there. They've been there during the warm-up days. They've played their opener games. I think as a team, they have been working on their passing game, and everything has been looking really good. And with Adi Zima looking so rock solid, I think the scales are slightly tilted in Hyderabad FC's favor, unless and until these two cute silent assassins come up with an answer of their own, which I feel can be, because right now Mufu is just going to be kicking his legs, because at this point he almost had this, right, that one little slip up, and the match had to go away from him, right, and the things could have been completely different. They could have still been continuing to fight for glory over here, because the last time they went up against the opponents, they were the ones walking out. They both won their games individually each, and then the third game they just played for the heck of it, right? They wanted to make sure they had enough goal difference and yada yada yada. But this time today they're going to be fighting for something. We have something on the line, and that is that one important point and a tie, because they're still unbeaten.
Yeah, we did see for Mufu, he loves that little lofted through ball in behind. Very, very solid defensively for the most part. But if we can just get a little look at the last goal that he conceded, it was quite disastrous for him. This was very, very well worked by DK. Lovely little movement of the ball. Just bamboozled him with the passing. he had the man over that extra runner, and but very, very unfortunate. This was a great pass. Like the timing on it, and just the anticipation to know that Maradona would get there ahead of the defender. The finish is absolutely clinical. And this one, I believe, it was just it's so strange. Like he went for a pass which just ricocheted right off the player in front of him, and there again, it's just complete pinball in there, and put Zidane in that position. He's not gonna miss.
I think Zidane, considering the fact that he was way too opened up, there was no man, marking him, and that sort of led to their downfall over there, because that is something that he never really thought, right? The ball, it was a kind of a ping pong situation over there, pretty much, because it just started deflecting, ricocheting of each other over there, and it was a pure chaotic situation. And in those moments, anything is possible, and that was one of those things, right? But again, we did see some different flavors of football over here. Adizima having a really comfortable time against Imad and DK and Mufu. They were almost equally matched up, and again, the score lines also reflected the same. But I must say, Mufu was in control for majority of the game. He was looking really calm, really composed. But, sort of a few little slip-ups, which was purely unintentional, though, led to his victory being turned into a tie.
Yeah, and a bit unfortunate for him. I think 1-0, as we've established before, is a very, very dangerous scoreline in this game because you start to get nervous, your palms start getting sweaty, you start making uncharacteristic mistakes, because at this level it's all about just that one mistake, and it's the difference between victory and defeat. One goal and one block. That's all it comes down to at the end of it. And now let's see how these boys can do in co-op. Both of them have shown fairly good coordination in their co-op games. So huge mental switch when this happens. And now Hyderabad FC can close this out. All they need is just a draw. But Northeast United FC will be determined to make sure that they get a point out of this and try to get the win in the next game coming up.
Yes, and it's going to be really crucial, because now Imad, he's got a lot to prove, but he's got to do it with his brother. And there you have the game finally kicking off. Hyderabad FC taking early possession of the ball, and they're doing the same thing that Adizima used to do. He was having a really good control over the midfield. He's keeping the passes on. He's waiting for the right opportunistic moments, and he's not shying away, from making a pass towards his defenders, towards his left backs or the right backs over here, and then slowly and steadily start building up the attack.
Yeah, and a very, very positive start for Hyderabad FC. Just a little overcomplicated over there inside the box. But yeah, it does look. I do feel we will see shades of the last game, in the sense that Northeast United FC will be happy to just be compact at the back and sit and score on the counter attack. We see a finesse shot into the corner. It has been coming. We've seen lots of people attempt this over the last two games, and finally that right boot of Pele has smashed it into the top corner. You cannot give a player of Pele's caliber this much space. Although, I mean, Ruud Gullit did extend his leg in almost a ballet-like manner over there, but to no avail. And it's 1-0, just what Northeast United FC did not want.
Yeah, I mean, with his shimmering, long, swan-like, postures and his beautiful hair, he just wasn't enough to stop that goal just rattling away over there. And I think this is the exact kind of a start that you want, and the right set of combination, right? I think Hyderabad FC have gotten their pieces right. The two players we're talking about, Adizima is very calm and composed, DK really aggressive. So they've got those two flavors. They can up the ante a bit, but now for Northeast United FC, they almost built up a really good attack, just getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, I mean, they will get the ball back straight away. It's a very poor goal kick, and I think their confidence is a little bit short right now. They're still relatively sharp when it comes to one-on-one defending, making sure that they're compact and all of that, but that cutting edge in attack has been lacking today, and that's where they're feeling the crunch. And well, they do have three players in the box, the Brazilian trio of Pele, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, but it's not quite happened for them yet. They'll be hoping to get an equalizer as soon as possible.
Oh, they will have to, desperately, because at this point, if things go like this, then Hyderabad FC, they're gonna walk off with a victory, right? Because taking a look at the series score, it's 2-1. Now, if they can get one more, so they're gonna get those crucial 3 points. But if Northeast United FC come in with a disappointment, for the Hyderabad FC fans, they win the game, then it's gonna be tied up. It's gonna be one each apiece, and look at those moves being made, by Ronaldinho over there. He was way too ahead, and this is where it all comes down to, right? This is where you're going to be tested on how beautiful or how good your teamwork really is.
Yeah, and it's very important in attack, and they have won the ball up high up. Now it's about, he's found Maradona. Will he go for that cutback? No, he just didn't have. Obviously, when you're faced against Theo Hernandez, it's very difficult to get control of the ball because of how fast and physical he is. They are going for a short corner. Let's see if they've worked on something in practice. This does look like a well-rehearsed routine. They've worked the opportunity, but I think just getting in each other's way almost over there, the two players. And now on the counter-attack, almost the perfect ball picked out, but it was well blocked. And very important now for Northeast United FC that they remain calm. They don't concede immediately over here, because then the game is up. Then it's pretty much over. And the Hyderabad FC boys looking very confident on the ball. They're just very happy to knock it around the box, wait for that opportunity. They have a 1-goal lead. They're in no rush to score more goals. And beautifully, that's a beautiful little skill move. And again, this could be an excellent goal if it happens. Nope, it's well defended. But you can see the confidence flowing through the Hyderabad FC boys. Like, they are very happy to use their skill moves, use that right stick, spam it as much as you want, use a shot fake, use a ball roll. And now, it's looking a bit difficult for Northeast United FC, but anything can happen at this point.
Oh yes, they need to get back to their senses, right? They need to start taking things one at a time, right? They've got to fix their defense and they've got to make it look better, because Imad and Mufu, they're very good defensive players, and these slip-ups are certainly not accepted. But we have Maradona trying to build up the attack, but again well
that
read.
coordination in the final third is just not there for them. I think that they feel like they're on, in attack at least, they feel like they're on two completely separate wavelengths. Although that's a very well worked ball, and interesting decision there to pass the ball back. But again, so you can see just on slightly different wavelengths, one player making that pass, the other one completely not anticipating it. So it is, I mean, they're trying their level best, but just that final ball, that final move is not happening. And he, this time, out of desperation, trying to go for that finesse shot with Maradona as well. But as I said, it's a very low percentage shot. 1 out of 10 might fly into the corner. And for the rest, it's just handing possession back. And now a counter-attack for Hyderabad FC.
At this point, they should start talking to each other. But this could have been deadly, as it was a really well put in cross. Just the play, missing by a couple of centimeters over there. But, again, looking at our left-hand side, you've got Mufu and Imad, both focusing on the game. But this is where, a few little exchanges, right? I'm going to pass, stay there, go at this point, make a few certain calls which your opponent cannot understand. That is, again, one of the other strategies that a lot of FPS players like to inculcate, mark a few locations, give them certain secret names and play accordingly, because when you start talking, things start looking better. You communicate, you exactly know what your partner wants to do, what he expects out of you. But this has been sort of missing, and it has been biting them.
Yeah, it's not really working. And you can see, I think Adizima and DK seem to be talking a fair amount during the game. But we're not really seeing that. I think the Northeast United FC boys are very completely focused on just what they are doing as individuals. And right now, particularly in attack, I think they know defensively they're quite solid and quite sorted that way. But in attack, that's where the talking, that's where the coordination really matters. And hopefully they can find a way to do that for their sake, and because they need 2 goals now. Draw is not good enough for them. They need 2 goals if they want to get anything out of this match. So very, very backs to the wall, uphill task. Let's see if something changes in the second half.
Yeah, this is the point where they should start pushing each other up, because that really happens in a lot of LAN events, right? And otherwise, if you're completely numb, you're not making even a hiss over there, then you start letting the nerves come to you, and that is when things start getting from bad to even worse. So that is something that they would want to prevent. But maybe with a second half fuel chatter amongst themselves, things might change for Northeast United, but does not seem like it, as Hyderabad FC were breaking off for one more attack.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the defense does not really seem to be the issue for Northeast United FC. But in both their games, they struggled both individually and now also in co-op in attack. There you go again. Just doesn't look like they're on the same frequency at all. I mean, I've said wavelength now. I'm using all forms of physics terms over here. Wavelength, frequency. We'll be talking about sine waves soon enough. But it's just not happening for them, and it's a corner for Hyderabad FC. They're very comfortable where they are right now.
Yeah, and all they need is just that one little finisher, right? Just to make sure things really intact, because they've got that perfect offense and defense combination in Adizima and DK, right? Adizima knows when to shift your entire attention when you need a rock solid defense, which has already been looking good. And then you've got options with DK with all those skill moves, and suddenly you expect an element of surprise. And Adizima has a really different approach towards the game when he's entered inside the D box area. So this is where Imad and Mufu are having a little bit of
that's
trouble.
a great ball. I think this could be it. It's Gullit versus Gullit. Which one will win? Neither. It's Yashin who wins. So that was. It was a very good opportunity, but unfortunately, just the wrong player in that moment. If you had anybody from the attacking line, whether it was
a little bit of pace,
Ronaldo, Pele, anybody else, that was probably a goal and good night. But still now, Northeast United FC still barely hanging on in this tie. They really need something to happen now within the next 2 or 3 players. Otherwise, it's going to be a fairly comfortable evening for Hyderabad FC.
Yeah, and this is a moment where they will have to put in their everything, because
there you go. That should be it. He goes for the chip. It's cheeky. It's impudent, and Imad and Mufu have had no answer to these guys all day. Just in attack, they've been phenomenal. They've been patient. They've kept working, kept making sure they wait for that right moment. And the pass over there was perfect. They've been finding the gaps, and that's just what Mufu and Imad have not been able to do. They've not found those gaps, not made those opportunities work for them, and thoroughly deserve for Hyderabad FC today. They've clearly been the better team across the tie.
Oh yes, and even talking about the past statistics, I think there was reflected when Adizima and DK went against Naveen and Saranj, in their co-op, right? It was a 1-1 draw, so that's a really good result. So against the Giants, if they can manage a draw, they can definitely pull off a victory. In comparison, if you talk about Mufu and Imad, they did lose out to Ashwin and Tikka. The first time they went off in a co-op. They did, however, manage to win the entire series because they did win their individual matches. So individually, these lads are strong, but co-op is somewhere, they've got to go back to the drawing board and work a few things out. Because from what we are seeing now, I think this is going to get start getting worse, because now they're starting to feel
looks like this looks like 3-0 could be coming very soon. He just needs a cutback. And deciding to go a little solo over there, I think you'd get a little tap on the head from your teammate for doing that. But they've won the ball back. This does look, it's 4-on-3 right now. This should be it. There's no way they're defending that. It's beautifully worked. And a little inquisition happening over there. A little bit of fighting now between Imad and Mufu. But I think they just need to let this one go. It's a lost cause. It's just been a bad day for them overall. And of course, it is difficult. Co-op, shifting mentally to co-op from your own game can, of course, be very difficult. And I don't know. I think Imad and Mufu, both of them off the game, they've always looked like they're very happy and smiling and loving each other's presence. I think they need to try and enjoy the game a little bit more when they're playing co-op, because they don't seem to be enjoying themselves when this is happening, and it's clearly showing.
Oh yeah, it is clearly reflecting, right? This is where they've got to go home, ponder over their mistakes.
This is probably going to be 4, unless we want to see, unless they're going to try and embarrass them with a few bits of skill over here. And I think going into the corner flag, and very, very hard to defend when you're faced against this. But eventually a mistake. You can do that now. At 3-0 up, you can start showboating a little bit. You can start throwing those tricks around. You can start spamming the right stick. And they've been thoroughly dominant in this game.
Yeah, and even at this point, there's nothing else remaining, right? Because they've already gotten so much in, and this is the end of the road for Northeast United FC, at least in this encounter, because there's no way chance that
Oh, that's
they're gonna come
beautifully
back.
done. He did so well over there to create
Oh,
that space.
he's
Oh,
just
that's beautiful.
throwing.
Why did he pass that? He had the shot. That would have
Uh,
been one of the solo goals of the season if he had managed that. Didn't
I'm
need
pretty
to
sure
pass
that
at
was
all.
DK.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I think DK loves his skill moves. That was probably him.
And again, just hitting, going back, but no harm done, right? Again, majority of the work has been cut out for Hyderabad FC. We are looking at their, first 3 points being secured in the eISL, and the boys are definitely going to be happy about it.
Yeah, let's see if Northeast United. Oh, almost a consolation goal. Very unexpected. Didn't expect a shot to go in from there, but hit that with real venom using that time finish. But just when it's not your day, it's just not your day. I mean, you can't do anything more than that. They did try, came very close to scoring. But overall, I mean, even 3-1 would have sort of flattered them as a scoreline because that's just how dominant Alizima and DK have been today.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, they've certainly been the better team so
Oh,
far,
that's
and
a great ball, but no,
nice
just
interception.
yeah, intercepted very well. And now could be a 4-0 over here. He just needs to take Ronaldo and run for the hills. Decides, oh, that's beautiful. Will he go for the cutback? He goes for the chip and passed straight. Oh my God, this is all happening. For a moment, I thought the goalkeeper was a Hyderabad player because the kit was the same.
Yes.
And yeah, now they just want to score, that perfect goal. They just want, oh, look at that. Using the Mbappe skills, he's having fun now. I think he's just enjoying himself, going for the cutback. And this could have been 5 or 6, if Hyderabad were in the mood to really be clinical and finish this off, as he's now running towards his own goal to just run down the clock. And it is 3-0, a comprehensive thumping victory for Hyderabad FC, and unfortunately for Northeast United. Well, thankfully they already have team points on the board in this tournament, but they've been schooled today. They have properly been schooled.
Yes, and there you go. Both the players of Hyderabad FC clearly, showing that they were better for the evening. And again, they're going to be going off against each other once more in the span of the 4 months that we have. But for what we have from now is, of course, a 3-0 victory in the co-op battle. And this is where the wars sort of continue for Northeast United FC. Individually, like we said, the last face-off they did manage to win their individual games, but it was the co-op game which they could not see the end of it. And a similar storyline today as well, but this time the goal difference has further increased, and again you've got opponents like Adizima and DK who are spectacular right now. Of course, you've got that little, calmness coming out of Adizima, and rightfully balanced by the aggression out of DK, ensuring that Hyderabad FC get those crucial 3 points.
Yeah, and I think they complement each other, as you said, very well. Adizima is a very organized player. He likes to dictate how the flow is going to happen of the game, and it's sort of like Lokmanu had said when we spoke to him the other day, saying that one person sort of takes the lead and takes the charge of what's going to happen, and the other person is there to just finish things off.
Yeah, considering these are those early few phases, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be on the same note pretty soon. They're going to be starting syncing up, going up against even more tougher opponents. They're going to have a really good time. But now, let's take a look at the scorecard. The final scorecard of the first showdown that we had. Of course, Northeast United FC going up against Hyderabad FC, and there you have a pretty clean victory for Hyderabad FC. Of course, a few hiccups for them in the middle where it was a draw, but then again nothing much to flinch about or something to worry about, because Adizima and DK, I think this duo has been one to look out for, especially during their co-op games. If they could tie things up against Saransh and Naveen, then in their co-op, so that's a really good sign for what they're going to do against the other teams, and it's getting better by the day, right? They're gonna always force the opponents into thinking कि ये finals moment में करने क्या वाला है? Is he gonna go for those trick moves, or is he gonna go for those maybe a cutback pass that Adizima likes, or what exactly are they putting on the table over here? So that little mysterious factor about them is what makes them so strong.
Yeah, and I think all the teams so far have been fairly unpredictable, apart from maybe Chennai and FC, where they've been just very solid throughout and winning both their games. And I think they're the only team so far to have won both games. Everybody else has, I think, seen one loss and one defeat. I could be wrong, but although we made it a pattern of me being statistically wrong so far. I'm really looking forward to our next game as well. So that's going to be quite tasty as well, and I think we have one of the players to talk to as well.
Oh yes, and let's just directly hop in into an exclusive interview and ask the players how they were really feeling heavy. Have the man for the evening, the man of the hour, DK. Of course, I've got to start things off. DK, you obviously have been really vocal with your expressions. Once you're starting to score, you start to celebrate, you sort of radiate that energy. But that was not visible during the game today. It was a really tense atmosphere. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, I was very nervous throughout the game today. I've been familiar with my opponent Mafu's play style. He played really well. And after going down, I was like, how do I come back? Adizima has given me a win. So we need to get at least a draw out of it. So after equalizing, my mindset was I'll just go for the last minute attack and got a draw out of that. But I really enjoy playing co-op with Adizima. I think we're really clicking. We talk to each other about the attack, about the runs we're making, about the passes, like what not to do. Even when I make a run, I tell him not to pass, so he doesn't. So we don't just get triggered by the runs. We communicate. So that's going really well for us.
Yeah, it looked like towards the end of that game, you guys could have maybe scored 3 or 4 more goals, but I think you all were being little indulgent and trying to score that perfect goal and that little trick or flick or whatever. So I think it looked like you all were having a lot of fun. So what do you like particularly about playing with Adizima? What makes you enjoy it so much?
I mean, as he's someone who's very similar to what I play in game, we 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 understand what skill he's about to do or what skill am I about to do, like, because we are very dribble heavy players. We like to take on one-on-ones against defenders. So I understand when he's about to skill in a particular direction. So I make a run according to it, and he just gives me a pass, and that's how we click.
And it's such a sigh of relief, because finally you've gotten those 3 important points on the board. The club owners are going to be happy. You individually are going to be happy because the last time was really tough, but you still managed to put that down to the wire, right? But today, finally getting those important crucial points, and you definitely deserve a party. But you still have a long way to go, and I'm going to wish you all the best. Thank you so much for coming up, and we're waiting to see more of those beautiful duo that you've created with Adizima in the future.
Right. Thank you, boys.
Yes, very.
All right, so Azim, I think we were both right? Considering this is exactly well reflected from what DK had to say, because they're clicking off really well on a really good note. Because you remember, right? The other night we were watching the warm up games, and they were struggling, and that is where DK had been also. He did say that we were having a little bit of hiccups here and there. I'm sure we're gonna work things out, and they definitely did. It's giving them results, and they have finally managed to win one out against Northeast United FC. But that being said, we're going to be pushing for a short little break, because right after this, we've got another amazing showdown for you guys.